up, have a little chat. Got my work done for the day. Keep an eye on that. Oof, power outages never look good on a tank. A bunch of angry things. Somebody's definitely moving something out of my building. You can hear all kinds of crap going on. Hey, what's going on, Tony? What's shaking, sir? We'll get a few more people in here. We'll get our chat on. My chair's being a... Jeez, if anything could go wrong today. Garfield might hate Mondays, man. I hate Wednesdays. Every time hump day's a bastard to me. Every time. So for those few that have dropped in, if you didn't know, and you wouldn't know, my power was out for 6 hours today. So that's why I was not here. Yeah, I do. I'll make one up here. Of course, that screwed my internet up. So I had to fix that. Oh, let me tell you, Tony going to join me in chat. I think it's just me and him right now. I'm pretty sure that's the way that, yeah, that's the way that's going. We'll get a few more. Three. Keep that there. There's the man.
Oh,
what's going on, Cap?
I've got a couple of things to rant about.
Oh.
I've got a couple of things to rant about.
All right.
The first one's a bit funny. Everyone else seems to find it funny, but I don't.
What's going on?
My mate come round, yeah. As I'm calling her now, the little brat come with him as well, yeah.
Okay.
Decides to look at my tag after we go through the re-education of that it's not called a Nemo, it's not called a Dory. Yeah, after all that rigmarole and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The little brat decides to turn around. I say little brat, she's about 16.
Okay.
Decides to turn around and say, my blue cheek goby, yeah, as you know, they're a sand sifter.
Yep.
Looks like Tinkerbell spreading pixie dust over the Disney castle.
Okay.
Totally demasculates my tank.
Sorry, I'm chuckling a little bit here. But yeah,
I know. And all I can say to her is, excuse me. And then everyone's laughing, of course. And I still can't believe it.
Well, I can see your point. I can, because that's kind of what they do. And from a female perspective who might be into Disney, that may be what it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've got that image in your head now, haven't you?
What am I doing? I'm streaming right now, Tom. Have I offended the YouTube gods in some way?
So I thought, well, and so now I've just sort of escaped to the kitchen where I want to be alone and cry.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes when somebody really, really whoops on your tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I could deal with it. Look very pretty. I like that.
Yeah.
But no. And my second rent is, do you know that trouble I had the other day with my brother's tank?
Yep.
I found out the cause.
Oh, okay. I'm very interested in this. So what was it?
The cause. It is to do with his water.
Okay.
Because I straight off, I done a 50% water change.
Okay.
I buy all my salt in bulk. So I get a bit by the pallet rather than by going to the LFS and buying one bucket. So I get a few quid knocked off.
Lend me money. No, go ahead.
It only works out. The Instant Ocean in the UK goes for usually about, I think the cheapest it goes for is £48 a bucket, 25 kg.
Okay. Yeah.
I get it for I think it works out to £44.50, which is not much of a saving off a bucket, but when you're buying like 20 buckets at a time, it works out good.
Yep.
Obviously, I've got about 3 years worth. But
are you about to tell me it's caking?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's no moisture at all. Moisture at all. I gave one to my brother. I said to him, like, I'm going to sell you one for £30. I've got to make something. So, yeah. And then I found out the root of the problem.
Okay.
Which obviously now the pumps, I've checked them 3 days later, and there's no build up whatsoever. Do you remember us saying about he's with natural seawater?
Yep.
Do you know what the Thames is?
Oh crap! He was not grabbing brackish river water.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a feeling about that, buddy. I really did, because nothing else made sense. It had to be precipitant of some sort. And was he adding salt after the fact?
He was adding Epsom salt.
Oh, okay. So
just pure Epsom salt to it. And I'm like, really?
That's just, and that everything is still alive attests to the resilience of the ocean right there, that it actually managed to pull through that. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Wow.
All I put it down to is he feeds exactly the same as I do. I like fat fish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what I put it down to. But yeah, this was the argument of why he didn't want to pay the £30 for the bucket, which is a saving. I see it as a saving for a fresh bucket.
Yep. Yeah, he doesn't even understand. Yeah.
No. And we're in talks, and I'm sitting there going, well, I don't really want to drop it anymore. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to sit there and say to you, here you go. Here's a nice fresh bucket of salt with the little tab still on it. But I can't do that. It's an expensive hobby.
It is.
And then we're back and forth debating. You know where it's going. He's nearly getting me to £25. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at an hour at it, and then he comes out with a little Easter egg of, but I'm going down to the Thames with a bucket. Well, he didn't say the Thames. He said he's going down to somewhere called Dagenham Dock, which is basically the end of the Thames. And the Thames is fresh water, even though there's the tides and stuff like that.
At best, it's brackish. At best.
Yeah.
Yep.
there's the. You wouldn't believe what's running in the Thames. Do you know what I mean? We're looking
I
at
live on the
1,000
St.
year.
John River. I do. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The worst, the best thing you can pull out of there is a condom going swimming in your mouth. Do you know what I mean? That's without the nappies and the crap that's coming in there.
Yep.
And he's in there, and he's got his bucket, and he's got his and his 5-gallon barrels, and he's filling them.
Yeah.
It was
So
like,
that's wild.
no.
Yeah.
No. I said, we're doing a 50% change tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight. So
Yeah.
I'd done a 50% change on the yesterday.
Yep.
Not yesterday, the day before that. And then I've let it settle till today, and I've done another 25 today.
Yep.
Not a problem with the pumps now.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
So
Not
the
a
Epsom
problem.
salts is what was causing the precipitant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's so
Yeah.
lucky that there's so many silicates in his water now.
Yeah.
And sitting on his
Yeah.
rock, it's going to take you
Yeah.
you and him a while to get
Yeah.
that off of there. Wow.
Yeah. Straight away, diatoms bloom. As soon as I've done that 50% change, within the first 6 hours, I was getting a phone call saying, I'm getting this brownish haze across my glass. What can I do? Clean it off.
Yeah.
Clean it off. You've messed up my tank. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, maybe not, but we're getting this issue sorted.
Yeah. Give me a sec here. I got a phone call. I've had a busy day. I've got a feeling.
Go for it.
Okay, so we talked about yesterday with that weird tank syndrome.
Yeah.
That explains
Did you guys see that video? I saw it yesterday with a fish of Hex and one of his fishes swallowing super glue.
Yeah, I have that happen to my fish as well.
Oh, I have, but
that ain't uncommon.
The amount that fish swallowed, I've never had a fish swallow that much. Maybe on the side of the cheek.
In the mouth a piece, but his fish swallowed a whole lump.
He was pulling it out the stomach, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's madness. But look, the steps we go to.
But it happens.
May have kids ourselves, but they're still our babies as well.
Yeah. We bought them. We take care of them.
Exactly. If only everyone else had that principle as well.
Yeah. I bought a cleaner goby yesterday. He died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my other goby didn't like him.
It's luck of the draw on it, mate.
Yeah, I had orange spotted goby. He did not like that goby.
Oh, really is luck of the draw.
It is. Gobies, either they like each other or they hate each other.
It's touch and go.
Chance.
It's touch and go. It really is.
So he didn't
I'm
like
sure
him.
there's people out there that's had 100% luck going so far, but I've only ever been able to keep one.
Yeah, it probably would have gone good if I have put it in at the same time.
Yeah.
But this one has been in a couple of weeks now, so he's the dominant goby.
Yeah. I know someone said once that if you take the original one out and then put him in the sump, and then, but it's the whole rigmarole of stressing the original one out, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't catch this fish. There are too many caves. You have to tow down the whole scape. You can't catch this fish.
That's the thing. The only hope is you've got moving tanks, but who really wants to do that?
Or if you want to do a escape or something.
We all want another tank. We all want another tank. You could have 15 or 50. You still want another tank.
Yeah, I was about to order a new tank here this month actually, but then I had some car issues. So I had to spend my money on the car. Yeah.
Sometimes life does take over, but then again, this is why we get ourselves to a stage where, if something like that arises, we can still carry on.
Yeah,
I mean, we all buy in bulk. We don't buy, say, like if someone uses a filter sock, we don't all have just one filter socks that we have to clean, dry, and then replace. We all have multiples. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't have one filter sock, then you're screwed.
No, exactly.
You're
Exactly.
probably screwed.
And plus the pain. I go for a filter sock in a day, so I'd
I
go
don't use
mad.
filter socks. I hate them.
Do you not?
No, I use no kind of filter socks at all. No
See, a
floss,
lot of
no
people
filter
don't.
socks, or nothing.
A lot of people don't. It's the only reason I use it is, as I said, I feed quite heavy.
Me
I feed
too.
quite heavy, and I think I'm feeding about 5 times a day minimum. 5 times a day minimum, and 3 of those I'm keeping the pumps running. So I just like to catch the extra debris. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I keep my pumps running also as well when I feed my fish.
Yeah. I think
They have to chase the food.
I think the bit I like about the keeping the pumps running is that it still gives that the fish that natural ability that food is moving, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry,
I didn't
guys.
chase it.
No,
I got
that's
some
all
new
right.
fish
Oh
on
my!
my triangle fish. It's so funny to watch when he's swimming.
Is there a fish that
Yeah.
not fun to watch? I
Yes.
think fish are great for that. They're all pretty good. You know, you get a few.
There is a
boring
fish
ones.
that's not fun to watch. There is a fish that's not fun. Craig,
Which one?
there is a dead fish.
Well,
No one likes a dead fish.
when he ain't
I'm bringing
swimming.
it out there.
They
boys.
don't swim.
and he's not swimming
No.
anymore. He's kind of floating at that point, right? You know. So
It's below
hey,
it.
hey, Annika. Hey, who else came in there? Tim. Ah, Tim's in here. How's the tank build going, Tim?
Oh, we just plumbed. Did you see his new video?
Oh, look.
Man.
No, you guys have no idea the fucking day I've been through thus far. So, well, remember I said I got delayed on my unemployment, so everything got kind of messed up, right?
Yeah.
So we woke up, I drove the wife to work, and I come back and I see a St. John Energy car because that's where I live, and I think, oh, that's kind of weird. When I walk in the door, all of a sudden, boom, all my power went off. I'm like,
no.
oh, son of a, and I'm like,
hate me.
okay. So I call, that's all I'm saying, right? So I get a hold of them, and hey, thanks, Bubba. So anyway, I called them up. They want all of the money, and not like
No
my back,
way.
end, all of
Really?
it. I'm like, oh,
Everything.
son of a bitch, right? I said, well, and I'm sitting there going, I have to pay rent because that's due, right? And I'm like, well, F this. Oh, I got to have power. My fish are going to die if I don't get the power back on in the next 4 or 5 hours, right? So
Yeah.
I threw all my battery operated stuff on just to life support the tanks, run over there, pay it. And they're like, oh yeah, so it'll get turned back on sometime before 5 o'clock today. And this is at 11:30. And I'm like, oh. Anyway, it's on, obviously, because here I am. And that's okay. So then I get another call, and my mother's taking a turn for the worse. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
son of a bitch, you're fucking, like my cat knocks over a table and all this other crazy crap going on in my house. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm streaming. Everybody, here's my middle fingers. Stay away from me because I haven't had
That's
enough
it.
coffee to even deal with this crap now, right? So.
Put the kettle on, sit down, and listen to all our problems.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It actually makes me feel better because it removes me from my own horse shit, right? Like.
And plus, it lets you know that everyone else has a shit day as well.
Yep.
Even better when someone's having a shitter day than you, but you don't want to say that though, do you?
What is it? Commiserating a misery is more fun.
Yeah,
than,
exactly. Exactly.
So my wife's like, what are we going to do about the rent? Called the new owners because my building just got sold. Called the new ones up, told them the situation. Oh, that's fine. Just pay by this date. I'm like, you sure?
Yeah.
Yep. No, we want to
Brilliant.
keep you. You've been there for 2.5 years. Even if you're late, you pay before the second week, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And now I'm like, all right. Here I am. What do I do now, right?
That is perfect. That is perfect.
So the only thing left is my car, and I'm sitting there going, you know what, hon? I have avoided bankruptcy for 20 years. And she's like, yeah. I said, I'll probably avoid it again. I said, or I might just take the plunge because I've watched more of my buddies. I know how to file for bankruptcy. I did it for a company.
Yeah.
Right? And somebody's like, what do you mean? I said, I work for PricewaterhouseCoopers, a big insolvency company here. And I had to go when we would take the baby's crib.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
go when the rules were completely different, right? And somebody's
Yeah.
like, well, what would happen to you if you filed for bankruptcy?
Reagerar när han blir
Essentially,
instängd.
yeah, I said almost nothing.
Man vet inte han reagerar när om han blir instängd.
Ja, men om han är med dig. Han är ju inte själv. Han är ju med de andra. Det vill
Ja,
han
But sometimes bankruptcy is the best option, isn't it?
Ja.
Hey, Cruz. Yeah, and that's just it, right? So when you're dealing with, and I tell everybody the same thing, right? They can't take away your birthday.
No,
Right? They kind
no.
of look at you. I said, listen, no matter. Hey, you're on your way home, Annika? Well, you can hop back on or you can do the phone thing. Cruz likes doing the phone thing in the car. Yeah.
Yeah, Cruz
Well,
is dangerous.
What I
Yeah.
usually say about it is they can take the shirt off your back, but they can't take your underwear
Nope.
because nobody
they can.
wants that.
They don't want to see that.
Nobody wants that. No.
No. And that's just it. Like I don't know how many people I've said to relax about it, right? Like, look, I know it seems bad, but they'll take my house. I said, generally in this day and age, they don't. They end
No.
up refinancing it, blah, blah. They
It
Go
works
ahead.
out more expensive for them.
Yep.
Paperwork.
I said, depending on what you own, right? I said,
Yeah.
if you bought a $500,000, a $200 million house, they're taking your house, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to make something off of it, right? I said, but if you've got standard, accoutrements in your life, blah, 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 right? I said, they're not going to come in and try and take a fish tank. They don't even know what to
No.
do with that, right? That
No.
kind of thing. So anyway, that's about, good old Forrest Gump, like saying, that's all I got to say about that.
That's that.
I'm drinking
That's
coffee. Let's talk fish. Let's yeah. There you go.
Oh, it's a bell on that one.
So
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I sorted out the water issue. Sorted out the water issue.
That I think is fantastic to find out. Hey, Cruz, you were here the other night when Tony was talking about his brother's tank and all that precipitant and fallout going on the pumps, seizing them up.
Yeah.
You might remember. We'll see. It's 30 seconds behind in the chat, so. Well, everybody looks
That's
like they're doing
completely-
okay. The RAS is a little not quite as active, but they're coming around. Tank's got to heat back up.
Yeah.
Didn't get too cold in here, but guys know how it is. All that water's got to reoxygenate now at this point, right? So
Definitely.
Takes time.
I woke up this morning and my Tang had a couple of spots on him. That's now gone now.
Yeah.
So life is life, isn't it? With a
Yeah.
Tang.
I think
You
Mike's
never know what
actually
you're gonna
onto something. When it comes to ick, I think he's onto something that it's very seasonal, and
It is, yeah.
it just seems odd that every spring when we start buying fish, and especially corals from the Australian market that start coming
Yeah.
out, it almost feels like you better quarantine those corals and those
Yeah.
inverts, because
It is.
that is chances are where it's coming from, right?
It's
Um,
always get the springtime.
always seems spring. You see the bigger outbreak, right?
It's same here.
Where it's quite the weather's quite humid here at the moment. 'Cause this is like our thundery season, start of spring.
Yep.
I always find humidity plays a big part of it as well. I tend to come out with it. Change of the seasons.
Well, it's the thing is that you got to understand icks. Trophin, whatever. When they insist, right? So they're sitting on
Yeah.
a coral frag. They're sitting on a snail shell, an invert shell. They're sitting there waiting. So
Yeah.
the trick is, and the hard part for us in this hobby is, there's two types of quarantine that you technically should be doing. Technically, right?
Yeah.
So if you're
Technically,
quarantining your fish and you're quarantining your inverts and coral separately, because they can go in the same tank because you can't copper them,
yeah. Of course, yeah.
that's 90 days you got to ride those guys out,
Of
right?
course,
Now
yeah.
a lot of people don't have the means for that. Let's be honest, that's
No.
an expensive
No.
proposition in and of itself. But if you truly want to avoid it, that would be just about it. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
is the only thing. That is the only thing.
and somebody's like, well, that
Yeah.
seems like a lot. And I said, well, listen, I know my tank is clear and nothing goes into my main display that has not sat. And the wife goes, we're not getting any new coral for the 120 until I have a quarantine system. Now, I said
Yeah.
that I can do more than fish. I want to be able to put my
Yeah.
coral into a tank, let it ride, and know there's no bubble algae. There's no, I hang out with you Brits so long, I keep saying algae now all the time.
Algae. It is algae.
getting polluted.
It is algae.
Right, exactly.
But
Right.
I've got a couple of buddies that they started up and they've come to me and said, Tony, I'm thinking about starting up a tank in a couple of months. Buy yourself a 200 litre. Well, there's 50 gallons. They're on 50 gallons for you. Get yourself a 200 litre plastic container. Start it now in that. Copper it up.
Sure.
Then by the time you even if it takes you 2 months to set up your tanks, 3 months, you've got the fish, they're quarantined and set up. Now, that's not me preaching what I do, because I've always quarantined. This is the first time I've ever done it. I'm living by the management. No one likes to admit that they live by the management rather than the eradication, but I'm living with the management at the moment.
Yeah. A lot of us,
I mean,
a lot of it. And that's the other one. Yeah, we call it supporting, right? So all you're doing is supporting the fish that have it and keeping the tank healthy. It doesn't mean you're getting when I hear that, I got rid of it. No, you didn't. Your fish are just dealing with it now.
No.
Yeah.
I've not seen it for 6 months. That's because you've been feeding them well. You're keeping the water quality good.
Well, I've never seen a
good
system
job.
like fish.
Good job. Good
and
job.
that's just it.
But a lie's a lie.
Yeah, exactly. You can live that lie and fool yourself all you want, but you know, you can think that hooker loves you, but the $50 is what counts.
Yeah. I can guarantee you my system is full of them. Full of them. It's just they can't attach to the fish. They can't eat their way out.
Well, it's not that. They are, but you're not seeing the numbers.
No,
right?
no,
the explosion hasn't happened. And that's all that matters. You're managing the numbers to the point where hopefully someday it's eradicated, but chances are they'll always get into a gill you can't see. They'll always get somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like I said to a buddy, he goes, well, do your fish flash? And I went, you know what's funny? No, they don't.
No.
Right? And he went, go ahead.
I was going to say they don't flash, they don't scratch, nothing.
No. And that would be the only hint for you that it's gotten around. Yeah. You'd see some flashing, nothing more. Yeah. Right? If you're managing it well, right?
That's
you know, go ahead.
No, I didn't say anything. I was agreeing with you, yeah.
You know, and there's so many ways to skin that, skin that reef, right? You know, it's like, I'm not going to sit there and tell someone there's one comes Santina. I don't know if you guys seen her. I know some of you know her. I told her, I said, look, you can do it from this point of view. I said, but you read what I read, and she went, right. I said, what did it say? Good thing, chances are to kill my inverts. And I went, right? There's no medication you can put in a reef tank. There just isn't that's going to eradicate it. You can control it. Yeah. You can support that livestock. That's all that matters to you.
Yeah.
That's fine. I went through the hell at the other end and said, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and follow that tank and look after those fish and deal with all the things I dealt with, right? And, that's just my experience. That's what I tell people. I did it. You don't have to do it that way.
Yeah.
But if you really, truly want to get it out, and everyone's like, well, it can live longer. Till I see a white paper that says, guess what? We found ick that lives for 22 years like a cicada.
Yeah.
Right? And we could, because let's face it, we're finding out about new species of everything all the time.
We only know so far in the ocean.
3% explored. 3%.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. We've explored, 92% of the Earth's surface, and we're still finding new stuff. So there you go, right? What's out there? We don't know.
And really, all we can discover is animal behavior, really.
Yep. Yeah, overall and all, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That is all we can discover. But I've had a tank fall out where I've lost every fish to ick. I have.
Yeah, that's an explosive ick. I know what you're talking about.
I quarantined those fish and I mistakenly swapped a net.
Yep.
We've all been there. We've all done something silly.
Especially that.
Cross-contamination is so much more important than people think it is.
Yeah, especially with hands.
Oh,
everyone talks about different equipment, different receptacles that you use in the tanks, but no one talks about washing their hands.
Yeah.
Washing their hands.
Because we're also like, don't wash your hands because that'll put something in your tank. But no, what you got to do is make sure that you wash your hands. Give them lots of time to evaporate off, peel your skin, all the good stuff that's going to happen. Yeah. Then go into the other tank because that trophin. Oh wow! Now I want to look up the EX cycle. Damn it! Hate it.
It's addictive.
What's up, y'all?
Going on,
What's going
John?
on? You all right?
Saw you in there.
Everyone's on the ick subject today. I was on Rico's channel, and he was talking about ick as well today.
I was right, Tomont, not Trophin. Trophin's when it's on the fish.
Yep.
And then it goes into the stage that we get to kill it on, which is the Therent stage, which they're swimming around looking for them. At the drop off, they're already insisting. So there you go. All right, cool.
Yep. Awesome. The only point a UV will work with them, if it's enough.
So Paul just booted up. That's funny.
Yeah.
So Paul just booted up his stream. Let's see. He's talking about what today? Sumps. There we go. Let's go have a look at his. No. We'll tell you what, folks.
Now.
Cruz is over there. He just went live. I am going to cut mine because he probably hasn't seen my. He probably didn't hit my bell, so he probably didn't know I was running.
Yep, I'm coming over there with you now, buddy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cut her. I'm gonna cut her loose. Anybody wants to join? John, are you signed up for Reef Community Worldwide?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So let's all pop over there. We'll go support Paul. I'm only stopping because, in all honesty, I don't mind talking to 3-4 people. I don't. Absolutely don't have an issue at all with it. But just politely, he didn't see it, so he'll apologize. Trust me.
Well, he comes on here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he comes on here, so
it's only right. Well, I'll see you all over there.
Okay, so that's the one we were in prior to last night coming over here, Annika. It's Reef Community Worldwide, as one word. I'll see if I can get you a link. Hold on. I'll go here.
I'll see you over there, bud.
Sounds good to me. And Annika, I got a link for you. Paste.
I'll catch you over there, Craig, mate.
Sounds good, mates. Let's head over there, and then we'll come back and stare at my tank later on tonight because that's usually the way it goes.
Yeah, go to the early hours in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. All right. See you over there, folks.